Welcome to Scrapbooking 101. It's great to have you back. I have a couple, I think this actually is my second time going live for Scrapbooking 101. We did start in January, so you may have attended a Zoom earlier this year for Scrapbooking 101, but I changed the formatting. I think it was the last month that I decided that I would do a live. I would try a live broadcast instead, hoping to include more people and to reach more people. And we'll talk tonight about everything. Anything you want to talk about, please just let me know. Please put it in the chat. I have you up and I can see your comments in the chat. So let me know you're here. I would love for you to say hi and where you're joining from. And then just let me know what questions you have. Are you running into anything that is holding you back from moving forward on your scrapbooks? So, things like that we would love to talk about. And we'd love to hear about your experience too. Are there any tips, things that you've learned recently, maybe? Um, hey, I realized this, this is how I like to make this, or how I like to do this, or this is easier for me. Please share all of that in the chat. This is definitely an open discussion. I know that we can't talk directly with each other on the live, but we can definitely communicate through the chat. So, hello from Troy, Ohio. Hey, hello, neighbor. And hello from Hilliard, Ohio. Hello, other neighbor. I love that. My oldest daughter used to live in Hilliard, Ohio. Love it. We would love to go visiting there, and then we would hop into Columbus and have some good German food in the German district. So, hello from Hilliard. And Sue Ellen from Hot, Texas. I know. I talked with my coworkers today who are in Dallas, and they said it's the humidity is pretty good down there right now. I also talked with some coworkers out in Arizona where it's in the hundreds. So I think we're having a heat wave, which in a couple days is the first day of summer, right? So maybe we're right on track. Maybe this is the temperatures we're supposed to be, not the temperatures we like to have. All right, so I am going to switch my screen over to my table. And I mean, I have a lot going on the table tonight. But this is how I organize. It may not look real organized right now, but it is somewhat organized. How I keep everything together that I want to use for a scrapbook. So let's kind of start back a little bit from where we left off last month. We were talking about how to select your scrapbook. And I explained that I like to do a separate scrapbook for my kids. I did it for my three girls. I did a separate scrapbook for their school pictures because I ended up with a bunch of extra. When you bought the packages, you always had a ton of extra. So I didn't want those to go to waste. And I made a scrapbook for each one of my girls that was their preschool up through 12th grade. And it had their school picture, and it had first day of school pictures and papers from school, etc. Anything, that was happening school related, I put in their scrapbook. And I'm really happy with the way they turned out. It's really fun to look back and see all of those beautiful school pictures that we all take, right? Because we all just look wonderful in all of our school pictures. Oh my gosh. I mean, that's the next album I need to make is my own school pictures. I need to find those and put those in an album. Oh my goodness. That would be um funny at some points, funny laughter. I'm sure there's going to be some, oh my gosh, what was I thinking? What was I wearing? What did I do to my hair? So, but that would be fun. It would be fun to look back and see the progression as you mature through school. That would be really cool. So I'm really happy that they each have one of those albums and they have all of their school pictures because otherwise they would have just been on the wall for a short period of time, right? I would have hung the 8 by 10 up on the wall and then they would have just stayed in a box somewhere. So the fact that they're in a scrapbook where they can enjoy them and they can share them now with their kids, and their kids can laugh at them. Okay, now we're getting to something here. Now their kids can laugh at them. I like this. But, it's that's the memories that I like to look back on. Um, hello from Brookville, Ohio. Hello, neighbor in Brookville, and hello, Janice. And I know you are in Connecticut, so great to have everyone here from all over the area. I love that. Okay, so I chose this particular album because this was the album that came out during her um, starting preschool. So this is not an album that's still available at Creative Memories, but we always have, and we do have a school collection. So if you want to jump on my website, you can see the current school collection that we have. Very cute. Um, oh, I have it up behind me. Let me make it bigger here. So can you see this black and white album here? That is the current school album. It's supposed to look like one of those notepads. Very cute, and it's got a great collection with it, so you can check that out on my website. That is the current school collection. And I like to use for my grandkids' albums, I have 4 grandkids, and they each have at least 1 album, and I think we talked about this last time. So, for example, Savannah, she's my oldest granddaughter. She has this album. She has an album for all of her Girl Scout stuff, and then she has her yearly chronological album. It's a lot. If it's too much, then I would say put it all in one album. That is perfectly fine. The most important thing is that your pictures are getting out of that box, off of your phone, and into an album. So however you want to organize them, however it's least overwhelming for you, whatever makes the most sense for you, whatever brings you joy and makes you the happiest and doesn't cause you stress, that's what you should do. I like to separate out big what's the word? Events or big extracurricular activities. So that's why I separated out her Girl Scouts because I'm really hoping that she stays with it throughout her school years. And then she can look back at her Girl Scout album and remember her Girl Scout friends. And then the same with the school album. I want to separate that out so her school pictures are all in one album. Um, and she can look just at her school pictures. If you put it all in one album, that's totally fine. It's up to you. Everything will just be in one album, and you will have to look through to find that year. So if you wanna do a year at a time, then in that album, you could put the chronological things, the everyday things, the Girl Scout things, and the school things, and that'll all be in one album in 1 year, and it's all together. So that makes total sense too. So whatever makes the most sense to you is what you should do. Um, I apologize. Um, that was my dog. I apologize. Hold on just a minute. I'm gonna mute real quick. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so that is how I selected my album for each of my grandkids. Is I use the current album collection that for the school collection for each one of them. That's how I selected that. And I like to use, and because I have, oh, I apologize. And because I have so many albums that I'm working on, I do like to use our Fast to Fabulous albums because they are pre-made. So you can see the pages are pre-designed. all of this is on the pages with the decorations, all of that, um, ready to go. So, for example, this page over here, um, I added this green piece of cardstock. I matted the picture. I put a title on. I put a date on. And I need to do some journaling here and talk about her new haircut. Um, but that's it. I didn't have to do any other kind of decorating. It's already done. The pages are already pre-decorated for me. And they're gorgeous, and it's the school theme. So they're all going to have that school theme look to them. And it's very fast. So if you're someone who feels like you're not creative, or someone that doesn't want to spend a lot of time on each page, or that someone that has a lot of different albums that they're doing, and you want to just get the pictures in the book, these will look fabulous. These pages will look gorgeous. You can decorate as much as you want or as little as you want. Just get your pictures in, do your journaling, do your title, and it looks awesome. I'm going to flip back here to an empty page just so you can see what it looks like without pictures. So, for example, um, I've got plenty of room for all of my pictures. It's already designed. It's got this pretty red colored pattern paper here and a design border on the side, all set for pictures. And then for this collection, they have some photo mats on here for me. So I can lay some pictures down on these photo mats and I'm all ready to go. So these are fun albums. If you take a look out on my website at the Fast to Fabulous, um, now a lot of the collections don't have the photo mats on them anymore because that gives you a little bit more um, room to be creative and to where to put your picture and what type of picture, a landscape versus a portrait. So a lot of the current collections now don't have photo mats pre-designed on the pages for you like these are. um, I don't know if any of them have this anymore. I would have to look out there. I don't remember, but most of them will have just your pages for you, and you can put your pictures down right on the pages. So, um, hey guys. Hey, Crystal from California. Thank you for joining, everybody. Okay. So that's the album. That's how I selected the album is. First of all, I knew my theme was going to be school. So I wanted the school collection. I don't use any other albums but Creative Memories. They're my favorite. So I knew that I was either going to use refill pages or which is what these are, but these are Fast to Fabulous refill pages. There's two different kinds. Um, I knew I was going to use Fast to Fabulous refill pages. And I knew that I'm going to use one book for her entire school. So for the length of her school, I want to get all of her school in one album. So that's important to think about when you're thinking about what album, because as you can see, I have a lot of blank pages, but I have enough. I have plenty of pages here for her school. And I can do one 2-page layout. I can do two 2-page layouts, and I should have plenty of room for all of her school pictures. So I'm going to flip back here to where I've ended up. So if you can see, these are the pages that I've done so far for her school. She's 12 now. So I have preschool. This is preschool. Here's kindergarten orientation. Here's kindergarten. Okay, and this is still kindergarten. Still have a few school activities for kindergarten. Did we hit first grade yet? Sorry, I'm not seeing my titles. Okay, here's grade 1. So I did have a lot of kindergarten in there. A lot of pages for kindergarten. But here's grade 1. And I think some of these are daycare. So some of these were in between the school year of what she did in the summertime. So these are her daycare teachers. Um, so then here's grade 1. And I have a 2-page layout for grade 1. And then here's grade 2. So the most I'm probably going to do is 2 2-page layouts. So 4 pages total in the book for each grade. And then here's grade 2. And then I'm ready for grade 3. So here's a peekaboo pocket that I put in here in the middle for one of her little pamphlets that she did, a little performance with her class. So here's grade 3. I'm ready for grade 3. I already have some papers in here from her, from that school year. And this is an 8.5 by 11 pocket page that I slipped in here with some cool school papers in there. So you just have to watch how many you put in because it's going to make your album thicker. But that's an option too, is to use this 8.5 by 11. I love using these 8.5 by 11s because they're great for all of these 8.5 by 11 pieces of paper that are sent home from school and daycare and stuff. So, I just threw some of her work in there. And I'm ready with my title. I've got grade 3 right here on this page, and I'm ready to put some pictures down. Before we do that, though, I just want to show you a little bit of how I organize and keep all of her stuff together so that when I'm ready to scrapbook, I have the collections that I want to use and I have the pictures that I want to use. So I like to move this album out of the way for a minute. I like to use project folders. So I have a project folder that I keep for her. And it's for all of her albums. So any kind of paper packs that I use in any of her albums, I keep in here. For example, this paper pack right here, these little bits and pieces that you see in this pocket are from her Girl Scout album because I was going with a theme for daisies. And thank you all. Last time you helped me with the daisies and the brownies. Yes, I couldn't remember what the Girl Scout the first 2 phases of Girl Scout were. So, I put everything in here. I have a die cut that I bought, one of those laser die cuts from one of those craft shows. I did not make this myself, but this is for her Girl Scout album. So anything that I buy, any little bits or piece that I use and I want to keep in one place, I put in this folder because it's got some great pockets. You can see I've got her name on it here so that I know this is hers. The center pocket holds tons of paper. I don't have it filled to the max right now, but it has tons of paper in here. I've got a couple finished layouts that I did that I want to put in her album when I use for her. And then on the back, it holds sticker sheets. So this is a great way to organize and keep everything together. I have one of these for each of my grandkids that has their name on it so that I can throw things in it when I find them, when I want to use them. Now, I can't fit everything in here because I also have paper packs that are for school and that have stickers and laser cuts and embellishments and die cuts and such in them. So what I like to do for that is, for example, this is an older from 2017. This is a collection called Bookworm. And I like to take every piece of a collection and I just put it in the paper pack. And that keeps it all together. And then I put it on my shelf like this. So I've got my stickers, I've got my paper, I've got my die cuts, and I've got my variety map pack all in one paper pack so that it's all together. And when I'm ready to decorate her pages, I have it all here and I can just grab it. I definitely could fit this in another project folder if I wanted to. For example, if I'm going to a crop, I could just grab these 2 and put them in another project folder to take with me, which is probably what I would do. So this is just another example, another collection that we had called Book Smarts. This one's just from a couple years ago. This is a theme pack with just 4 sheets of double-sided paper, some designer stickers, and a sheet of cardstock. So this was a small little theme pack that they came out with, but I love the all of the stickers that go with it. And then I just have some non-school themes. Super Duper Girl is one of the ones that I want to use for her because I love the stickers. So this will probably, well, this could go in her school or her yearly album or her Girl Scout album. One of the 3 albums, it would work in any of those. So I just like to keep it all together. I just need another project folder for this one, and then everything is nice and organized, and that's how I do it. How do you guys organize? What do you put your bits and pieces in when you are wanting to keep everything together that you're going to use on an album? What do you use to put your paper and your die cuts and your stickers to keep them all together? Just put that in the comments. I'd love to see what all everyone's doing because there are so many different ways, so many different products out there now that you can organize with. If you see behind me, let me just switch back to my view here. If you see behind me, oops, sorry, let me lean this way. I've got paper packs. Trying to point here. There we go. Move my head. There we go. So I've got paper packs here, and they are in the stamp and oh my gosh, I always forget the name. Stamp and store. Stamp and storage. Yes, my goodness. Stamp and storage. That's what these paper holders are behind me in the top of my shelves here. Those are stamp and storage. And then also the same type of paper holders for these paper packs, as you see up here. I just have them, you can turn them in either direction. They can be horizontal or vertical. And so I store my paper in my paper packs, just like you see here on my table, in these stamp and storage shelves. And they're really great because they have slots, so you can slide them in, and I store them based on theme. So in the first one over here, this is all the kid themes. So for my grandkids' albums, so school themes, the Super Duper Girl that I showed you here, that's a girly paper pack. I have them all together over here, so when I need them, they are right here. I also use these white baskets that are from Dollar Tree. I love these. Those were recommended to me from Teresa. So thank you, Teresa. The paper packs fit perfectly in there, and they're great for organizing papers. So that's another option, and they fit in my IKEA shelves. So perfect type of storage for me. Fits right here. And I like open storage. I don't like drawers that I have to open up and try and find things. I like having it all open so I can see everything and find it easily. Let me just look because I think some people. Oh, nope. I thought somebody put a comment out there of how they organize. Okay. Thank you, Janice, for no apologies. Love the dogs. Thanks. My husband just came home, and so my dogs are going crazy. So, all right. Okay, so that's how I organize my paper. My cardstock is at the top, and then these are my themed paper packs in the center section here, right here, and then down on the next shelf. And like I said, I organize them by theme. That's how I like to organize. Hey, from Springfield, Ohio, Miss Susan, great to see you. Thank you for joining. All right. So let's get started. Let's make one of the pages in the album. Now, I have a few pictures here. Let me grab them. I did some organizing because I haven't worked on these school albums in a while. I've been trying to get caught up on my yearly album, and then I was gonna get all of that in there and then move over to my school albums and get caught up on those. So I did some organizing, grabbed my pictures, and I have a few here. And then, oh, okay. So let's talk about the pictures. So, like I said, look at this. Look how many extra we have of this school picture. So, getting some of those in an album is going to be great. All right. So, what I did first was I went through my organizer where I have all of my pictures, my power sort box, and grabbed all of her school pictures. And then some of them are great and they have it right on the front for you and they tell you what grade and what year, and that's awesome. So you don't have to go hunting to remember what year this was. Um but some of them I did not have the year. So that was the first thing that I had to do was go through and find the pictures and then find the ones and put on the back the date and what grade. And I can't remember if my pencil's in here or not, but I use our special pencil for writing on pictures so that it's not making a dent in your picture. I may have showed this to you last time, but it's got a very soft lead to it. It's not a hard lead, so you can write on the back of your pictures without putting an indentation in the picture. So that's the first thing that I did was went through my pictures because what'll happen is, I mean, I don't take these pictures, my daughters do, and they'll send them to me in a text or on Facebook. And, the date's not on the back. So then I have to come up with the date for the picture. So I have a software that I use. It's called Historian. It is a forever product, and it used to be a Creative Memories product but with the old CM, and then they discontinued doing the software. So the company that actually wrote the software is now selling it. So I use Historian to track my pictures. So what I do is I upload it into this software called Historian, and then I just can look through there and see the chronological order of my pictures. It's very helpful for me. I love it. I'm not going to go too much into that, but that's the software that I use if you're interested in having a software. Okay. So that was the first thing I did was I went into Historian. I got the pictures. I uploaded them into Historian and then printed them out. And here we are. I have them ready to go. And these are school pictures. So, and they have the date 2019-20. So those are great. I don't have to worry about trying to find the date for those. But that's the first thing that I did was however you organize your pictures. Maybe you just grab them off of Google and you upload them right from Google to the place that you print them out. You get them printed, they send them to you. And if they have the date on the back, great. If they don't, then you'll need to go through and figure out what the date is. If you are wanting to put them in chronological order in your album. We kind of touched on that last time as well. For the school year, I definitely am doing that chronologically. I want to I want to start at the beginning and go through to the last grade of grade 12. There are different ways you can order your pictures in other albums, but for this one, I definitely wanted to do chronological. I think that's probably the most popular way, but it's not the only way. So if you have pictures from a variety of different years, maybe you have some of your childhood pictures and you have some current pictures and you have some from your kids' pictures. So you have them from all different generations. I mean, there's really no rule of how to put your pictures in an album. Now, when you're using the Fast to Fabulous, like I am, I'm going to pull this back over. you have to be aware of the order of your pictures. And what I mean by that is when you use the refill pages, that's what these are, these Fast to Fabulous refill pages. Once you put your pictures down on a refill page, and if you would decide or if you would realize I have more pictures that should have happened right here chronologically, how do I or between let's say between this page and this page, I missed some pictures. How do I get those pictures now in the book and that in the right order? Um, well, um, there's several different ways you could do that. You could use our Peekaboo Pockets. You could put the pictures that you missed on the next page and not worry about the date, which is usually what I do. Um, you could try and lift up what pictures you have on this page and move them. It's up to you, but you really just have to be more aware when you're using our refill pages of your pictures and make sure you have them in the right order before you start putting them in your album. Um, I still love these refill I love these refill pages. This is what I started using when I started scrapbooking is these refill pages. I love just coming in and getting all my pictures in first and then going back and decorating and adding titles and journaling. That's one of my favorite ways to scrapbook. But it's totally up to you. Now, for her Girl Scout album, which I just love when this album came out, it was perfect for daisies. I am using our top loading pages. So if you are someone that would rather have the flexibility of being able to move pages around, then I recommend you use our top loading pages. Now, these are side loading because these are an older version of our 12 by 12 pocket pages, 12 by 12 pocket pages. They were side loading at one point, but now they are top loading. So you slide your pages in the top of this. But I decided I wanted to use these 12 by 12 pages because of the paper that I wanted to use. I wanted to use that daisy paper. I'm looking for, here we go, which is here. This is the daisy paper. I wanted to use this certain paper for this album. And so I wanted to use the 12 by 12 pocket pages to slide my pages in. So that's how I decided on which type of pages I use in an album. It just depends on the theme of the album, how quickly I want to do the album, how much time I want to spend on the album. And, like I said, if there's a specific theme that I want to use for an album. So, all of the fun things, and it really is fun making all of these choices and putting your album together. And then once you decide, I'm going to use this album and I'm going to use this paper pack and I'm going to use this style of page, then you're good to go. You just have to print your pictures out and you're ready to create your pages. All right, so let's do that. Let's flip back over here to third grade. I've been hitting my camera, so I'm trying to turn these gently so I don't hit my camera and cause it to shake again. There we go. So we are on third grade, and that is this picture right here, this little cutie patootie. She is smiling big for her first day of school in this picture. And this is 2019. So 2019, 2020 is third grade. And yeah, so that would be these. These are third grade. 2019, 2020. Okay. And then, This is also 3rd grade. We got her class, which I love. Wouldn't that be fun to look back and say, "Oh my gosh, I'm still friends with her and him and her." So, I just thought that was so cool to have a class picture with everybody's name on it and a year. I love that. So, I'm gonna do this big picture probably over here. I'll do her first day of school here, and then I can do her school picture right here. I'll just use one of these because it's a different variety, different color background. There we go. And I don't know what I'll do with the remainder of these pictures. They will just go in a box somewhere, maybe. But that's how I'm gonna lay them out, and that's how I will start is to get the pictures on the page. I did this one thing here. This is a sticker, and I put it on a mat behind it because it's a white background sticker. This is the sticker sheet. I had a couple of them. But this is the sticker sheet that I'm using for her album. I've got this one on all of her other pages, kindergarten, first, second, third. Um, but I just like I said, I just took it and put it on a blue mat, a blue piece of paper because it's a white background and it would just kind of blend in with this paper here. So I just put it on a blue mat and use my corner rounder to round off these corners and we're good to go. All right, so I just want to put these on some mats and I need to trim this one off because when I printed this one, it's got the white border on it. So I just need to trim that one off. I'm not going to trim either one of these. These are going to stay just like they are. I'm not sure if I'll trim the school picture. It does have like that barcode on the side. I might take that off. I don't think there a date or anything is important is right there. All of that is right here. So I'll just trim that little side off of that one. I love using the personal trimmer for my pictures. It's nice and sharp. Gives me a nice straight cut. It's really fast. So if you have a bunch of pictures that you're trimming, you can really do that quickly on these 12-inch, I'm sorry, on the personal trimmer. And a fun little feature is it has a little drawer on the side. So if you're going to a crop, you have a nice little drawer you can put little items in. I don't open this very often. There we go. You know, you can fit some scissors in there. You could fit your journaling pen in there. So fun little drawer for storage. So, all right. So there is this picture, and then the same time I will put a mat on these. Now I did a blue mat on this to match the 3 on here, but I have other colors on this page too. I've got a nice variety of colors, the primary colors, so I can grab any one of these. Now the background of the picture here is green. This one's blue. This one's got a white background, so I can kind of switch it up here on what color I want to use. But she's wearing a pink dress and we've got pink here. So I did grab some pink, lipstick pink cardstock. Just going to open this guy up here real quick. All right. Now, the way that I like to do my mats, and you don't have to do a mat. I could put these down on a page just like this, and this would look totally fine. My pictures are in my album. They're not on my phone. They're not in a box. They're not in plastic container somewhere. They're here in the album so that she can look at these someday and someday show them to her kids. And it would look perfectly fine if I just leave them this way. Um, but I'm just going to take it one step further and I'm going to put them on a mat. And I chose this pink, like I said, for a couple reasons. It matches her dress that she's wearing in the picture. And I have this color on the page here. So it's going to look nice and blend in with all my other colors. And the way that I like to do my mats is I like to lay my picture right down on, and I want to remember this date. Before I put it down, I want to remember the date of the picture. Too many times I've put my picture down in my book and then been like, oh, what was the date of that picture? So I just have a little board here that I just write it on. So I just wrote down 8/20/19. And I just like to put a little square of adhesive in each corner. And then I like to do, you can do a wider, it depends. It's really just a personal preference, how wide of a mat you put, how big of a frame do you want around this picture? I can do a real narrow frame and have just a little bit of the pink showing around my picture like this. I could do a wider frame and move my picture out a little bit and have more of like a half of an inch around the edge like that. It is totally up to you how much of a frame you want behind your picture. So I'm just going to kind of go somewhere in the middle of what I just showed you, not real thin, but not half an inch. Maybe that's what, a 1/16 of an inch, an 1/8 of an inch, probably more like an 1/8. All right. So I put my picture down on my paper and then I grab my 12-inch trimmer. I'm going to get this trimmer out of the way here real quick. And then I use this great feature. You guys, if you've been with me before, you've heard me talk about it before. These little guides that slide up and down the arm of your 12-inch trimmer, they are the best thing ever. I'm going to hold this up so you can see that black line that is down the center of that plastic piece. That is right where your blade is going to cut. So that shows you exactly where you are cutting. And that is the best thing to have, is to know where you're cutting. It's very helpful in many different ways, in many different situations when you are using your trimmer. So I am going to use it now for my mat. And that black line is going to show me the width between that black line and the side of my picture. And I'm going to try and get the same width that I have over here. I don't measure, I just eyeball it. I don't get very technical with a ruler. I just look at it and say, okay, between that black line and the edge of my picture is about this wide, and that looks about the same width as this part of the frame or the mat. So I think I'm good right where I'm at. And, you'd rather go too wide than too small. But either way, you can make it look even. Okay. And I'll show you how. So I'm going to cut it. I'm going to leave it right here. And I know using this black line, I've got a good width, about the same as what I have on the other side and at the top. So I'm good there. Then I use this other great feature of our trimmer, and that's the white line on the side of the blade mechanism. Okay, this white line shows me exactly where my blade is. That's where my blade starts. I know that's where my cut is going to start or stop. So I am going to take my blade mechanism and I'm going to cut down here, and I'm going to stop exactly where I think is about the same width down here. Okay, so I'm going to make my cut over on this side, and I'm going to stop right here, right at the base of my picture. And I know where I'm at, and I know where my blade's stopping because I have that white line. So I just stopped right there. Okay, I may go a little bit further down, right? Just give me a little bit of room right here so that I get the same width down here. I turn my paper. I use that same, that same guide that I had at the top. There's one at the bottom as well. So there's two of those plastic guides that slide up and down the arm. One at the top, one above the blade mechanism, and one below the blade mechanism. And this is the blade right here, mechanism. So now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to use this one, and I'm going to line up my picture down here so that I have that same width on the bottom of the picture. And it looks about right there. And now I'm going to take that white line. I'm going to start cutting right here where I see my cut. I know my cut's right here, so I know I want to start cutting right there. I know my width is good over here. I've got my picture lined up with enough at the bottom. I'm going to cut the rest of it, and there's my mat. So that's how I like to do it. There's so many different ways to do that. You come up with whatever way it works for you. Now, what I meant was when I said earlier, you can always fix it. If you're too narrow on this side and you can tell, and you've got more frame on this side, all you need to do is pick up your picture. It has not become permanent yet down on your paper, and reset it. Move it around until it looks better to you, till you have the same width on each side, top and bottom. And if it's not going to work out, you can always trim it off. So you want to go for too much paper versus not enough paper behind for your mat. All right, so there we go. We've put the picture on the mat, and it just brings out the picture. It just highlights the picture. It brings your eye to it, gives you a focal point. So I do like putting my pictures on mats. All right, so then we have the school pictures. So there is a difference with these types of pictures. So this picture is a door and the house behind her. So you've got some lighter colors. These pictures have that solid color behind her. So you have some highlighting behind her already. So you have a matte looking kind of feature on these pictures already. So I could really see the decision of not putting a mat behind these, because you've already got that highlighting behind her head. Right? She's already got that focal point here because she's got these solid colors. So I could see just leaving those without a mat, putting this one on with a mat, like so. And let me bring that back over here. Right? Oh, let me move it up. That looks cute. I like the way that looks. And then you can do your titles around the pictures. Now this, I've got a really great method for lining this up, because I've already got lines on my paper, grid lines. So I just have to line them up on that grid line. There we go. And I think I will just leave these as they are and not put a mat on the back of them. I like the way they look. They've already got that highlighting. And I just put them a little offset. I just think that looks fun. It gives the page a nice flow between all of the elements that I have, all of the pieces that I have on it so far. The only thing is I maybe could move this one over a little bit. I like having a nice flow between all of the pieces on my page. There we go. So there we go. There is her third grade. First day of school picture. Now, I don't know if I have little sayings for that, but if not, I'm going to put some titles on there. Let's look in our paper pack here. I've got a bunch of stickers that maybe I can use up some stickers. That say like first day. This says best day. I don't see it there. If not, then I will use some ABC 1, 2, 3 stickers, and I will use those to say first day. Oh, I've got a bunch of stickers in here. Let's get them all out here. All right. Let's take a look. I do have these little tabs too, so that would look cute to have one of those tabs on next to the picture that says first day of school. Okay, here we go. Way to go, genius. First day. So I do have one that says first day right here I could use. Okay, so I have a lot of choices there. And then I have some choices in these. These have a lot of the same colors. Let's open this pack and look at these die cuts. Now, once I open these up, I'm probably going to put these in a different storage container so that I don't have to get in and out of this pack anymore. And maybe that's our topic for our next Scrapbooking 101 is how to store little pieces like this, right? Aren't these fun, though? I love it. Little thumbtacks. We might be doing using some of these die cuts here. I'm liking the way they look. Okay, so here is one that has that same color pink. Here's some little journaling tabs, little journaling. Here, this one says today. And this one says grade. All right, let's see what else we got in here. Aw, back to school. Oh, there we go. We found it. I like it. That's the one. Get all these pieces here up. Back to school, right there. Something like that. I could do on the side here, back to school, right? There we go. I like that. All right. Yep. Already starting to lose things. All right, let's just use my repositionable. Because I've laid my other adhesive down and now can't find it. It's probably right in front of my face. Oh, it is. Here it is. There we go. Cute little back to school. There we go. So there's our title for that picture, back to school. How cute. And then we have some little push pins up here. I like those. So just remember when you're decorating your page, you want to do odd numbers and you want to do that triangle so that your eye follows around your page. And what that means is imagine a triangle, and at each point of the triangle is where you would have your decorating. So if I have a die cut down here in the corner, then I would do one here, something up here, and then another one down here. So we have that triangle that takes your eye from the bottom to the top and back, all the way around the page. Okay, so just remember the triangle rule and the rule of odd number of things. So when I'm laying things down, I've got 3 things here and not an even number of things. Okay, so just some things to think about as you're decorating, things that have things you hear about when you hear about art and like floral arranging and things like that. Odd numbers are the that are most attractive to our eye, I think, something like that, that look the best together, or um, I don't know how to describe it, but that has been proven that um, that is the not the most attractive. I'm not saying that right, but that it is the most appealing. That's the word I'm looking for. Most appealing to the eye is to have the odd number. I was trying to see if I have another star like that. Let's see what I have here. Okay, I don't see another star die cut, but I do have a star sticker. So let's grab our repositionable. And the repositionable is just little dots, great for small pieces like this. It is not, it's easy to move those around, but once you've had them on your page for a long period of time, they won't fall off. Some repositionable I've heard does not last and will fall off the page. Ours does not. It is going to stay on your page forever. Okay, so I'm going to pick this dark purple because there is a dark purple here. So I've got yellow and black and purple. And there we go. So I've got a fun little pencil down here. Let's get that guy on. There we go. So there is my triangle here. I've got some focal points there of decorations. I've got my title. I would just need to do some journaling, and I have tons of space over here with these grid lines that I can do some journaling. So Savannah and I will do the journaling together because she can tell me, she can think back to third grade and how was she feeling this day, you know, and she can tell me what she wants to write here in her book. All right, so let's also put this one down. I'm definitely not going to put this on any kind of a mat, and I do want to trim this off. So let me just move these guys. Please feel free to ask questions in the chat. I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. If you're having difficulty, or if you would just like some opinions of everyone here, that would be great. We are happy to help in any way. All right. So I just want to mention, for the 12-inch trimmer, we have a couple different places, and you've probably noticed I've used both of these. There's a ledge up here that you can put your paper against. There's a ledge down here that you can put your paper against, to keep it straight and so that you get a straight cut. And it doesn't matter which top or bottom that you use, uh, but a good rule of thumb is to cut toward the ledge that you're using so that you are not pushing away and accidentally moving your paper that you're trying to cut or picture that you're trying to cut and get a crooked, uneven cut. Okay. So what I mean is I have my picture against this bottom ledge to keep it straight. I've got it lined up. I used my little guide here to make sure that I'm getting right on that line there to cut that white strip off the side. So I've got it lined up. I know my blade is going to cut right there. I'm good. And I'm going to bring my blade toward me since I'm using this bottom ledge so that my piece that I'm cutting is being pushed towards that and keeping it straight, okay? Versus cutting from the bottom and pushing up and possibly accidentally moving it a little and having a crooked cut, okay? So just a rule of thumb, cut toward the ledge that you're using. Okay. Oop, I didn't push it hard enough. I don't usually cut pictures in my 12-inch trimmer. I like my personal trimmer for my pictures, but this is a bigger one and it won't fit on my personal trimmer. All right, there we go. So her class picture is ready to put in the book. Now, since this is a bigger picture, I can use my regular adhesive. It would work fine. I would just put a bunch of it on there, but I'm going to use photo tape. I like to use our big strips of photo tape. It's going to give me a big strip all the way around and going to adhere really well to the page and make sure that it's not bubbling up anywhere. All right, so I'm just going to close this real quick so that I have room to do this. All right. It's got a nice little metal serrated edge right there. So you can rip the tape off easily. Oh, I think I'm at the end of my tape there. Yep. I'm just going to put that little piece in the middle. All right. There we go. So I'm all good with my adhesive. I'm excited. I haven't worked on these albums in a long time, so I'm excited that I'm getting some pictures in here. So just a tip that I do, I don't know if you can tell, but I've got a bit of a dip right here in my refill page. It's going down. It's not laying flat right now. So what I do, and let me see if I have one close by. Well, let me just use a pack of cardstock. What I do is I take a piece of cardboard and I lay it underneath that refill page. Get it nice and straight so that when I'm laying my picture down, I don't have that bend in my page and accidentally have my picture not lay down straight. All right. So something like that. I can't really use this border here to try and be straight because this border is more narrow at the top and gets wider at the bottom. So I am going to have a different width here because that is not the same width all the way down. So I'm going to use this side over here to make sure that I'm laying this down straight. And I just eyeball it. Now, you do want to be very careful with the photo tape. It is very strong tape, which is good because it's a heavier piece and I want it to be strong tape. I want it to hold this picture on the page. But I only take one strip off at a time and get it laid down because trying to pull it up then could pull up the color off your paper and it could rip your paper. So you just want to make sure that you get it straight before you lay it down and press on it. So I think that's about right. You can use a ruler if you'd like, just to double check and see if you have the same width and make sure your picture's straight. I got 3/4 and 3/4. Yep, I think I'm good. So there we go. I put it up towards the top so that I can put some journaling down here. I'm hoping that Savannah will have some stories to tell me about the kids in her class, and we'll put those at the bottom of the page. I think that would be fun. Something to look back on when she's older and remember about these kids in her class or about her teacher. Any of the fun things that she remembers about that school year, which is a good reason to try and do this during the school year, but that doesn't always happen. We get behind, and then we have to remember what happened. But we will make it work, and it's going to be great. I love that we have this school picture or class picture for her. Okay, so there we go. We got 3rd grade done tonight, ladies. How awesome is that? We've got our first day of school. We've got our school pic. We've got our class picture for 3rd grade. And in between those, we've got some papers that we did those years. So I love it. I'm so happy with the way this looks, and it's really easy. I hope this oh, hold on. Let me go back and look at the chat. If you turn the personal drawer upside down, you can trim larger photos. Janice, look at you. If you turn the drawer upside down, so you take it all the way out. Ah, look at you. Oh my gosh. That is a great thing. It's not just for storage, it's for larger photos. So you can do this, whatever this length is, and then you can do things that are wider that way. Great little trick there. I love that. I never even thought about taking the whole drawer all the way out. Very cool. And you can also, if you are going somewhere, let's say one of your kids has a school thing that you need to go to, and you're just going to sit there and wait for them. This is a great thing to put your pictures in this drawer, take them with you, and you can trim them while you're waiting for your kids at their sporting event or whatever. It's all right here, compact in this cute little trimmer. So thank you for that tip. I love that. All right, so Sue Ellen, she learned a new tip today, which I think is about the personal trimmer. Oh, the white line on the side of the blade. I had never noticed it before. Yes. Oh my gosh. This 12-inch trimmer is my favorite tool that I've had a lot of their 12-inch trimmers, and this is my favorite one over the years. And yes, I love this white line. It shows me exactly where my blade is cutting. That is my blade right there. And it's on each side of the mechanism. You have one on each side. So that is a great way if you're cutting a frame. What I always use it for is to know where to stop, so you don't accidentally cut through something that you don't want to cut through. So yes, the white line is awesome. All right. And then Sue Ellen had a question. I normally use my photo trimmer to trim pictures, but sometimes I use my 12-inch trimmer. The blade does not leave a clean edge sometimes on the photo, but it works fine on paper and cardstock. Do you know why? I have heard that your 12-inch trimmer really is meant for paper, decorative paper and cardstock, and not pictures. I think the blade, the difference in the blades is what's causing the edge not to be clean, because this blade is a nice big long blade all the way down that arm, and it cuts at the same time. Whereas this one is being pulled down the picture, and maybe not the best type of blade to cut a picture. So that's why I do love this personal trimmer. It's got that nice clean blade, nice and sharp, and it's gonna get that clean cut on your pictures. I've also heard too that, um, they don't recommend that you use the 12-inch trimmer for pictures just because it dulls the blade faster. So, I've never really liked cutting my pictures with my 12-inch trimmer. I like my personal trimmer better. So, great question. Thank you, Sue Ellen, for the question. And thank you, Janice, for saying it looks great. I don't know that I'll do much more for 3rd grade. Like I said, I'll probably at least do a one-page layout, which is 2 pages on each side, 1 page on each side, sorry, left and a right page. So a 2-page layout. I'll probably do 1 2-page layout for each grade so that I can get all 12 grades in here. Um, but, I've done 3rd grade now. If there are any other 3rd grade pictures where she has events or attended things, I can always do it on the back here and then start 4th grade over here. So no worries. We're gonna get them all in the book, and I feel great because, like I said, she's 12, so she's in 6th grade this year. So I'm not that far behind. I don't have too much to catch up on, and then I will just have her do some journaling. So there we go. Well, thank you so much, everybody. This has been so much fun. My next, oh my gosh, where's my calendar? My next, I'm gonna have look here. Scrapbooking 101. Let me grab my calendar here real quick. I apologize. I did not write this down before we came on. So, my next Scrapbooking 101 is okay, these aren't the right dates. It's going to be the 3rd Tuesday. I'm sorry, Monday. Shoot. All right, let me look on Facebook. I apologize. I want to give you the right date. I don't want to give you an incorrect date. It should be here in this event. Yes. Okay. It is Monday, July 17th. There we go. There had to be some place that I found it. I have an event that's out on my Facebook page that has all of these dates out there. So take a look at that. But it's Monday, July 17th, same time, 7 p.m. Eastern. And we will talk about 2-page layouts. We're going to talk about 2-page layouts next time. We did a Fast to Fabulous 2-page layout, and I think we're ready to take our next step now into a more complicated layout, into a layout that's not on refill pages that we're going to do on 12 by 12 sheets of paper. I think we're ready to venture out into that. And I hope you guys will bring along some friends of yours, all of those people that you've been trying to get to scrapbook. Tell them to come with you to this event. Just jump on the Facebook group with us or in my YouTube channel and take a look at how easy this is and how much fun this is to do. I know that there's somebody in your life. My 2 people in my life are my sisters. I am going to get them involved in scrapbooking, and I've started with my oldest sister. She's working on her grandson's album, and she had a blast when she was here making his school album. She's doing an 8 by 8 for his school because we have some really cute 8 by 8 kits for schools. And it has titles on each page of the grade. So really easy to do and really fun. So if you have that person in your life that you have been trying to get to scrapbook with you because you want them to know how much fun it is, bring them along to Scrapbooking 101 on July 17th, and we will just show them how easy and how much fun we have together. All right, ladies, thank you so much. I've had a blast with you tonight getting this page done, and I will see you for Scrapbooking 101 in a month. Have a great June and July. Happy scrapping.